everyone, I'm Kaitlin.
And I'm Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast.
We're two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
We're back!
Yeah. Usually we do this weekly.
Yeah. After taking like a month-long break, I'm still sick.
Still sick.
Well, I don't want to call myself sick. My throat has not recovered. So that's why I sound like I've smoked all my life.
And you still have a cough.
Yeah, so I'm trying really hard not to cough right now. But, yeah. I just kept thinking of the Moira meme, or just like that clip where everyone thinks she's died, and then she goes back to the Jazza Gals, and she's like, she hath risen.
Oh my god.
So like, that's me, like, I'm back, baby. But also, that's kind of Anna.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Maybe that'll be the title of this episode. She hath risen.
And she rises pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little bothered by it. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it because I think Eugen kind of, like, points it out, too. But just to preface, like, this is going to be probably a short episode because the outline is bare bones.
Kaitlin still can't talk.
Yeah, I'm, like, really giving it my all. Because I love this podcast. But, so we're probably just gonna, like, blow through with it. Not blow, but just hit the high points. And, what was I gonna say? Hit the high points. Maybe that was all I wanted to say.
That it's gonna be a shorter ep.
Yeah, that it's gonna be a shorter ep.
But we'll still hit things.
Yes. I felt like there was something else, but it doesn't matter. If it's really fine. Important, we'll get to it.
Yes.
It'll pop back into my brain. So should we just, like, go for it?
Yeah.
Without further ado?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
Would you like for me to start or you?
You can start.
Okay. So episode 9 is where we are at.
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Okay, say it.
Sorry. We watched these episodes, like, 2 weeks ago.
Also. Oh, yeah. We've been sitting on them.
I might not remember everything.
Yeah, things might not be as fresh.
And that's also why it's going to be shorter.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to
Because we were prepared to record this 2 weeks ago, but you weren't better, and then the next week you weren't better, and then this past weekend you weren't better.
Yeah, guys.
We're like, let's just not any of these days.
Yeah, and then I was like, we have to. I felt like if we didn't do it soon, we were just, like, never going to record the podcast again.
And like I said on the Insta story, which you guys may or may not have heard, but
follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, OK Drama Podcast. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, if Caitlin's not here, like, the podcast isn't fucking happening because she does the outlines and she edits them and we record them on her computer. So, like, I'm kind of just a little talking head here, reading along with the outline and just
giving her hot takes.
Yeah, giving my hot takes here and there. But it doesn't happen without Kaitlin. So, yeah.
Thank you for the shout out.
Yeah, you're welcome. So everyone thank Kaitlin.
Aw. And blame me for the missing time.
For the hiatus. Okay, so episode 9. Anna wakes up and she's feeling pretty good about herself.
Yeah, because this is the morning after the press conference.
Yes.
The press conference.
Yeah, whenever she gets outed as being alive, basically.
Like, she's like, hey, high school students and members of the press.
Oh, I'm hot? Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm in an oversized turtleneck.
Bless you, Lumen. That was a cat sneezing. She's out and about, and Jaeha is cute. She becomes more friendly with her staff. Like, they're getting ready to eat, and she's just like, can I join y'all? And they're like, the fuck?
They're like, I thought you had social anxiety.
Yeah. And K1 informs them that Eugen is coming after them. It's like a whole fucking thing. K1 is the one who likes the girl, Miran. Yeah. And so he comes in and says basically, like, they're coming for us because they don't want us around anymore, basically. So we're pretty much dead.
Yeah, because she, like, I think her outlook is like, I got my life back now. Like, we're all good. Like, I maybe got a boyfriend in Jaeha.
It's all just so fast.
I
don't know. I know it's a show. And, like, you can't go at the speed of, like, normal life.
Right.
Because it's a series and there's only 16 episodes. And you gotta cram a whole lot of content into these 16 episodes. Even though these episodes are really fucking long. But she just, like, has a complete turnaround.
They should have started it sooner.
Yeah.
Is the thing. They took until, like, episode, like, 6 or something for them to, like, meet and talk and hang out with each other. Right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know. It took for fucking ever.
She just doesn't speak, and she's crying the whole time, and she's in the dark, and she can't move or do fucking anything. She can't see light. And now suddenly she's like, I'm gonna eat breakfast with you.
Yeah, which kind of makes it seem like, were you just faking it this
Yeah, because she's, like, talking normal. Like, she's able to have a conversation with them. Kaitlin, I can't even have a conversation with people and feel okay. Like,
I know. Again, like...
I can't just sit down with random people. Like, not random people, but fucking people I work with that, like... I have to associate with. I can't just sit with them and shoot the shit during lunch. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I feel so incredibly awkward and uncomfortable. And most of the time, like, I will sit there silently and just, like, listen. And only if they ask me something will I answer. Literally, that's it.
Yeah. And I
because
mean,
I'm
like,
uncomfortable.
I guess maybe she wanted to, like, give it a go because she was shy. But yeah, she, like, warms up real quick.
Yeah.
Because she's like, join me for breakfast or whatever.
Yeah, it's not even them, like them kind of initiating a conversation or trying to make her feel welcome or okay. It's just, like, she's the one freaking them out by just being like, hello.
She hath risen.
Yep, I'm here. I'm alive.
All the while, like, while the other staff was hanging out with Anna, Jaeha goes back to, I don't think he goes to Cloud 9, but he has some sort of conversation, right?
Yeah.
With Yujin. Maybe he goes to her house or something. And they are basically, I don't know, their conversation is a little confusing. But I think basically he's telling her, like, hey, you need to back off. Like, don't kill her. And, like, you were fucked up for, like, sending the ambulance back. But then Yujin brings up a good point. I think this is where she brings it up. Where she's like, you think Anna's the victim, but basically she's saying, like, there are victims and villains in everybody. And I think she kind of mentions, like, so you think Anna is just going to, like, I forget how she says it, but basically, like, Anna has her own motives too. Like, she's not this, like, perfect, like, little angel person. She has intentions that are, like, maybe subconscious, but she has her own motives that are probably against me, so, like, just watch out, because, yeah, you think, like, me and Park Hwan-soo are evil, and, like, Anna and Rania were, like, perfect and the victims, but, like, I was a Rania too, and whatever. All this stuff, and it's, like, but I think Jaeha's just, like, okay, cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't really seem fazed by it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because, like, Yujin is clearly, like, a terrible person and a bitch. But throughout 9 and 10, I, like, am really starting to feel like, what is her deal? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It's very confusing.
Yes, that's exactly what I was
don't know
say.
where anyone lies right now. Anyway.
Like, literally the only good people...
Mira,
the, like, cook, housekeeper. K1's not bad either.
Master Song,
the doctor.
Yeah. Those are the only,
but, like, everyone else, you're kind of just like,
Yeah.
Okay. Very odd. Anna goes to JSS and meets Master Song, but, Songwon.
That's, head of JB Group. Yujin's half-brother.
Yes. Shows up, and Yujin freaks out, and Sungwon basically says he's going to take care of Anna since she's his niece, and Jaeha goes with them to watch over Anna. Anna low-key gets kidnapped, but then Jaeha finds her at Sungwon's house and the rest of his staff. Or her staff, right? The housekeeper, Mira, they're all there as well.
So basically...
He, like, saves them all.
Yeah, so basically, Sungwon shows up, and he's like, hey, like, I'm gonna take her out, like, I'm gonna watch over her, so she's not cooped up, or whatever, and so we know, like, someone's watching her. And Yujin is like, and she gets basically, like... She
has to let him.
Yeah.
It's, like, out in public, like, there's nothing you can really do at this point.
Yeah, she kind of, like, signals to Jaeha, like, watch both of them, and then he takes her to a hospital, to, like, get her checked out. And she meets with the psychologist who she met with, like, right after her mom died.
Yes.
Which I'm sure is triggering.
But she didn't really seem too fazed by it again.
Yeah, she was like, oh, good to see you. Okay.
Though there were moments in this episode where I was like, what the fuck? Like, this show, no, I don't like it. Those are the moments I was just like, I don't like this. I don't like this timeline of events. I don't like these, like, weird personality shifts.
Yeah, and then, like, again, like, Anna had social phobias. Like, she's just casually going into, like, a hospital and meeting Sungwon, who she does not know.
Yeah, trusting this dude who's Eugen's brother.
Right.
Like, why would you trust this man? Even though it's obvious that they don't get along, like, still, why would you trust anyone from that family?
I guess her logic is, like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But also, like, they're all enemies. Like,
yes,
you know what...
they're all fucked up.
Yeah. And she says this later, but, like, she's clearly relying heavily on Jae-ha to, like... Which I think is not fair to him.
No.
But anyway, in the hospital, basically Jae-ha loses track of her.
He, like, goes somewhere to check something or do something, and then he comes back and she's not there.
Yeah, I think he, like, sees a suspicious person or something like that.
Yeah, and he flips shit.
But then, but then he can't find her, and it's played like she got kidnapped.
Yes.
But then it's played like, oh, Sungwon just... Does Sungwon call him and be like, hey, meet us up here? I feel like he does. I just remember, guys. Like, he goes to his house.
Yeah, like and everyone's there. And this is the part where I was really like, what the fuck? Because no one tells him anything. And she doesn't even seem fazed by the fact that they just fucking left his ass at the hospital.
Yeah.
This person that she counts on to take care of her. And she just like, okay, I'm going to go leave. He'll go find me, I guess. He'll figure it out. Like, and then expects him to, like, join for dinner and just, like, shoot the shit. Like, there's no problem.
Yeah, like, you would think... she'd be like, okay, like, finally we can leave, but, like, I'm not leaving without Jae. Like, especially because they run in the same car together.
Yes.
Like, it would be one thing if they were like, oh, well, he's in the other car.
He'll meet us there.
But, like, he wasn't, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And there's this scene, like, where they're all eating, and it's kind of, like, in a weird slow motion type of thing, and there's no talking, it's just showing them, like, laughing and eating, and, like, music's playing, and Jaeha's the only one that's sitting there just, like, confused, like, looking at every person, and it almost looks like a scene from, like, a horror movie or something, where, like, he's thinking, like, am I crazy?
Yeah.
Are they crazy?
Because, like, basically everyone drank the Sungwon Kool-Aid, because Miran and the housekeeper... are there, and the, because in between this, right, like, don't they have a little, beach day, where, like, Miran and K1 kiss, and stuff?
I don't remember, yes, that happened before
dinner.
Because after this, she gets drunk.
Right, so,
and that's another thing where you're just like, damn, girl, like, you haven't had anything, like, your whole life, and you're just gonna get, like, completely fucking wasted.
Yeah, so I guess he doesn't show up to dinner. I can't remember the timeline, but yeah. There's, like, a beach day, and, like, her and Jae-ha.
Yes, so he, like, finds them, and it's, like, he's a little bit mad that everyone had left, and, like, he didn't know where she was, and they go to the beach, and Mira and K1 are, like, being flirty in the background. Yeah. And then she wants to play tag for some reason.
It's, like, a very, like, classic, I think, Korean cliche. Like, you play, like, Catch Me If You Can at the beach and stuff. Because it's, like, in every drama.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But cute. Again, like, is she the type of person who would want to be chased? Considering her, like, history of events. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like, she just had such a traumatic experience as a kid and never actually got help.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
She was not getting help from fucking nuns. That wasn't happening there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think about that, of her past trauma of actually being chased. Like,
yeah, like, there was somebody in her house. I don't think she was imagining that.
Right.
There was definitely someone in her house. I think there was definitely someone that killed her mom. I just don't know who the fuck.
Yeah.
And I think she witnessed it all.
Yeah.
And they, like, fucking terrorized her with the lights and chased her.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, like...
all of these scenes bothered me so much.
I would think, like, the better approach would be for us to see how Anna was able to get to Sungwon's house without Jaeha. Mm-hmm. I would have just liked a little scene where she's like, what about Jaeha? Mm-hmm. And then for Sungwon to be like, oh, don't worry, like, he said he had to go take care of something. Yeah. And then for her to be like, okay, and then for her to at least, like, text him or something.
Yeah, which, maybe he did tell her he was coming later. Because he had every intention of bringing him to the house. Yeah. But the fact that it's not shown is just a little, like, did she ask? Did she care?
Yeah, like, exactly. And then I feel like at the beach, it would have been cute for them to just, like, sit down, like they did on the roof, and to watch, like, Miran and K1 be, like, doofuses and, like, running around and kissing. And for them to, like, do that thing where, like, they look into each other's eyes.
For those two, it makes sense. Because they're both really silly. Yeah. I don't know.
But, yeah, so they could do the thing, like, after they kiss, like, they kind of look at each other. And then they're like, ooh. Because, so we get some, like, butterflies, but not, like, chase me.
Because they were already chasing. Like, the other two were already chasing. Right. I don't know.
Because it very much reads like she's a little girl still. Yes. And she just wants to copy, like, what other kids are doing or whatever.
Yes, because we have that happening later on, I think, in the next episode.
And I think, like, that it would have been better for them to just be, like, more mature about it and just watch the other two. And they kind of have, like, their own thing going on. Because, like, obviously Jaeha's cool. And I think Anna, they should have played Anna, like, cooler. And, because she is at some points. Because she's like, I don't fucking need your help. Like, you think you're helping me by cooking me ramen? Like, go fuck yourself. Like, I liked that attitude. Yeah. And I think that should have been more present. Rather than, like, her thinking CPR was a kiss. And, like, wanting to do, like, Catch Me If You Can on the beach. And, like... Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's not awful. It's just, like, when you think about it, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. It's like, they're just like, oh, well, like, here's, like, a K-drama trope. Yes. Catch Me If You Can on the beach. Blech. Like...
I think I much prefer, like, the intensity between Yujin and her, like, lies coming to bite her. And
honestly, like, Yujin and Jaeha's, like, sexual tension... I honestly like that more. Yeah. Because I'm like, woo.
Because, I don't know. Anna's just so, like you said, childlike.
It's almost creepy. Yeah. And, like, Yujin is, like, a strong-ass woman. Like, she might be a terrible person, but, like, I feel like her and Jaeha are more equals. Yeah. Anyway. So, at that point, they do the dinner. Anna gets, like, fucking drunk. And at this point, I'm also wondering, like, is Sungwon a bad guy or a good guy? Or is he, like, gray, just like everybody else? Afterwards, like, Anna gets shit-faced, like we say. Jaeha takes care of her. I kind of, like, tucks her in or whatever. And then they have, like, a little flirty walkie-talkie... kind of like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is it this episode or the next episode where he has the nightmare and, like...
I think it's the beginning of the next episode.
Well, because it, like, ends with Jaeha, like, getting ready to knock on her door or something.
Yes, it, like, ends there. Okay. And then the next episode starts with them again. Back at the doors, back and forth for fucking ever.
And never ending. They go to sleep.
He goes to sleep, and then she goes to, like, meet him, I think, because he's not answering.
Oh, okay.
And then she sees him on the sofa, tries to put a blanket on him.
And then he freaks the fuck out.
And then hugs her.
Yes, I think you're right. So let's just move on to episode 10, because we already did. 10,
that's what happened. It was just a lot of back and forth at the door. A little too much for me.
Yeah, it started out cute, because, that's what you do when you're, like, into somebody. But it's like, can we just, like, speed this up? Yeah. We don't need to see all of this. I would have liked to see them again, just be a little bit more mature about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not, like, little kids. They seem to be people in their mid to late 20s. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think it is very, like, cliche. A lot of, like, just cliche moments.
Well, it gets, like, even more cringy. Because, like, after this is all done, like, Anna's really happy, and she has, like, a girly moment with Miran, and Miran is, like, putting makeup on her. Like, she's never really...
That's a cute, like...
She's never worn makeup before, and she wants to look, like, more grown up. And then they're talking about kissing, and Miran is like, you're definitely going to get your first kiss now with all this makeup. And she's like, I've kissed. And Miran is just like...
When?
The mouth to mouth? That wasn't a kiss. And she just, like, started laughing in her face, which I thought was really funny.
I know. I love how Miran just, like,
she doesn't give a fuck. She's just like, that's definitely not a kiss, dude.
Like, you're an idiot.
You have not had your first kiss. And I'm like, thank God there was someone there to fucking tell her, like, no. Because even, like, flashbacks for Jaeha make it seem like that's his first time kissing her. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, you were trying to save her life.
Yeah.
Huge fucking difference. But anyway, she gets his makeup on, and she's excited about it. And then she decides to send him a photo of herself.
But the makeup doesn't even look very good.
It doesn't, and it's just, oh my God.
It is very much like two 13-year-old girls.
And isn't she, like, making a face in it?
I don't remember.
I feel like she's making, like a pouty face or a cutie face or a duck face or something. And it's just, oh my God, it's so cringy.
I feel like the makeup is so poorly done. It is very much like two high school girls are putting on makeup. Because, like, when you put on makeup, obviously, when you're a child, you go a little bit too much.
Yes.
And, I mean, I know Miran as a character is, like, extra. But when you see her with makeup on, with Miran with makeup on, like, her makeup looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, like, fabulous, but it doesn't look like
over the top
Anna's,
crazy.
Where she has, like, a ton of eyeshadow and, like, her lips are overdrawn and I don't know.
And even that, like, housekeeper woman was just, like, shaking her head like, what the fuck are y'all doing? God damn it.
Okay, so then Jaeha is like, I gotta be somewhere. And he meets up with Yoojin, who is not pleased with the current arrangement. She basically is like, what the fuck is going on? And he kind of gives her the rundown and is like, yeah, Anna's pretty happy there. At this point, I think she, again, like, Yoojin doesn't really have a choice but to trust that Jaeha is, like, looking out for everybody's best interest at this point. Is this also where Jaeha, at some point is, like, trying to, like, look all cool with a cigarette in his mouth? I think, like, Anna calls him or something, right?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I was just like, what is with this guy smoking? Like, smoking's not cool,
bad habit.
I know. Yeah, so basically everyone's getting up to date, and I think this is, like, kind of, not the beginning, but certainly, I guess, towards the beginning of Yoojin's unraveling. Like, she is, I think it started with Anna giving her a little press conference, and she is just kind of, like, losing her mind as time goes on. And then we kind of cut to a quick little scene of Sungwon giving Anna the case file that has the details of her mother's death. Again, I'm like, okay, obviously he's, like, manipulating her. Like, that's clear as day. But again, like, you would think that would be, like, super fucking traumatic for her.
Yeah. And she's just like, oh, okay.
But, like, she looks, like, intrigued. Like,
well, yeah, later on she's showing it to Jaeha also, and just, like, there's photos of her mom just laying there dead, and she's like, here you go.
And, like, Jaeha's the one to be like, honestly, like, you thought that was okay? Like, she's been traumatized, and someone's like, I think she's cool, bro. Again, it's like, what? There are moments in the show where characters call out, like, the absurdity of what is going on, and it's like, if you know this is absurd, like, why are you writing it this way? Because, like, are we to believe that just, like, everyone in the show is, like, fucking nuts.
Yes.
And that there are only some people who are like, this is not normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's confusing in that way. Like, are the writers nuts? Or are they like, no, we're just gonna write a show that, like, features just a bunch of fucking crazy people, and we're gonna throw in, like, a little Miran, a little housekeeper, a little doctor to make sure, like, no, there are normal people in this universe.
I don't know,
It's like, what's going on here? Anyway.
Yujin goes on to the same talk show she was on at the beginning of the series, which, going into fashion real quick, I really like that reporter's hair.
Oh, yeah,
She's
me
got
too.
Great hair.
She does.
Fabulous. I love that hair, yeah. And Anna's mom comes up again in the story, in the interview and stuff, and the reporter keeps kind of pressing, and then they go to a commercial break as Yujin starts kind of, like, tearing up, and Yujin's like, do you think we should have cut to a commercial when I was, like, crying and, like, making good TV? And she's like, she says something to her like, oh, I know it took a lot of strength for you to muster out those tears. And then basically tells her, like, Yujin is like, we should stick to the script. And then the reporter's like, why? Because of my son?
Yeah, she's then, like, whatever, turning the tables on.
Yeah, she's like, my son is overseas. Are you going to, like, separate my son from me and then have him, like, locked away for years?
Like what you did to...
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable, and she doesn't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
So you come back from commercial, and she's asking her some more questions about Anna and about that designer that, quote-unquote, discovered her and other things. And then it fucking turns into Maury, and it's like, surprise! Guess who's here? It is Anna! And then everyone flips out. Anna comes out. I also love the audience in this show because when Yujin is, like, crying, the people are just like, oh, she's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. And then when Anna comes out, they're like, oh, wow. She's so pretty. Oh, my God, she's so pretty. It's just, like, really funny little commentary from the audience. But she sits down, and it turns out that the designer, Lefelt, was really good friends with Anna's mom. And
which is, like, not what Yujin said.
Complete opposite. Yeah. She said, like, they never met before.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says in this video, like, when I saw you, I, like, thought I saw an angel or something because I thought it was your mother.
Yeah.
Who was my muse, and I'm ready for you to be my new muse. And
crazy.
Yujin is just, like, looking down, like, does not want to face the cameras or the reporter or Anna or everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's freaking out, and Anna is convinced that Sungwon can help her get revenge while Jaeha will still protect her. And she's basically saying, like, she's not ready to be his muse yet because she still wants to
figure out the details of her
mother's death. And it kind of goes into the fact that she doesn't believe that it was just suicide, and here are the reasons why. And then she also talks about, like, wanting to fix her, like, mental health problems, but it's like, do you have them, though, at this point?
Because you're on TV right now.
You're on TV right now. You're basking in this fucking, like, popularity and newfound fame.
Like, is your only issue with flash photography?
You're wanting to kiss boys. Yeah, exactly. You just can't have a bright light on you. But, like, I don't...
Yeah.
Whatever.
And so I think this is kind of what Yujin was saying earlier, like, to Jaeha, like, don't think that Anna is without her own motives. Because, yeah, I mean...
No, she's not completely innocent.
Yeah, like, it is a good thing. I mean, whatever. It's understandable that Anna wants to figure out what happened to her mom. But I think it's crazy that she went on that TV show.
Yes.
Because, again, like, the whole social anxiety thing. I know she wants to get back at Yujin, but I feel like those would be two separate things. Like, I know she thinks that Yujin killed her mom, but I just feel like it's clearly Sunwon manipulating her. And it's like, and I think Jaeha kind of brings it up, like, he kind of tells her, like, he's manipulating you. And she's like, I know he is, but I think he's, like, my best bet at getting back at Yujin. And it's like, she's like, and then I have you to protect me. But I also just feel like, girl, like, why do you want to get deeper into this?
Yeah, and I feel like the question is also, like, get revenge on her for what specifically?
Yeah. For locking you
For sending you to, like, whatever the fuck.
Nunnery?
Yeah, nunnery place for years. Because also your dad did that too.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't stop her.
Right. And I just...
What specifically do you want revenge on? Because you don't have proof that she killed your mom.
Right. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would think that she would want to, like, give it some time. Because if it were me, and I felt like I was living under this, like, oppressive person who, like, never let me have a life, I would be like, cool, deuces, I'm free. I'm going to get my life together and try to figure out what happened to my mom.
And not see you again.
Exactly. I'm, like, never fucking talking to you again. And then...
Don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you.
Yeah. And then, if you figure out that she actually killed your mom, then you can make a revenge plan. But at this point, I'm like, if you were that traumatized, I would think that you wouldn't want to be around these people anymore. But she's just, like, going deeper into, like, the lion's den or whatever. And it's like, get out of there. Like, if you really hate these people so much, then get the fuck out. Don't play into their game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
And I feel like...
But I guess that's what Yujin was saying, like, to Jaeha. Like, you think she's that innocent. Like, look, she's playing the game just like all of us.
Yeah, we're all playing this game together. I also feel like if she were to just maybe talk to Yujin and, like, really ask her and have a conversation, I wonder if Yujin would give her, like, more actual clear information.
I feel like Yujin hates her so much, though, that, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. See, that's the thing, too. Like, I am curious as to how much Yujin was involved in the death of her mom.
Part of me still doesn't know if she was involved at all.
Yeah.
And maybe she just, like, played it that way when What's-His-Face found out to, like, keep him stuck with her.
Right.
To get back at him.
That's kind of what I think happened.
I'm sure she already knew.
Right.
Like, that he was with her. And I'm sure she already knew that was his kid, too. Because she, like, fucking knows everything.
Right.
Part of me feels like the fucking secretary did. Not Secretary Kim?
Yeah.
Part of me feels like she did it.
Yeah.
She's, like, fucking horny for murder. Like, she is so horny for murder. Like, anytime it gets, like, brought up that someone needs to die, she, like, gets this little smirk and, like, this little, like, glimmer in her eye. Like, she's fucking, like... losing her shit over the thought of a person dying. Like, it's fucking wild.
That is such a good prediction because moving forward, she pulls the trigger without getting Yujin's approval.
Without talking to her or anyone else. Multiple times she does this on this episode. Yeah. She doesn't give a fuck. And multiple times in the past she said, like, so-and-so needs to die. We need to kill them. You should have killed them.
Yeah. That is such a good point.
I feel like she saw that his mistress was getting in the way, a famous actress, a muse, a model, whatever the fuck, and it might come out, and not only would it be bad for Yujin, but it would, like, be bad for their future campaigning and political stuff.
Also, I feel like they haven't brought it up again, but remember at the beginning, she asks Yujin, "Are you hearing voices again?"
Oh, I don't remember that.
You don't remember? Because we talked about it, like, I think it was, like, episode 1. But I think Secretary Kim is like, "Are you okay? Like, are you hearing..."
Is this after the first, like, talk show thing?
I think so, or maybe it was after seeing Anna, like, in the... on social media or something. But yeah, I feel like there's a moment where she says, like, "Are you hearing the voices again?" And Yujin is like, "Yes, but, like, we don't have enough time to deal with this right now. Like, we just have to keep going." So I'm like, what is Yujin's mental health like also? Yeah. Like, is she, like, schizophrenic or, like...
She seems...
Or is it one of those things where, like, Yujin is clearly super smart and, like, very capable. But it looks like that she has her moments of, like, vulnerability. And Secretary Kim, like, pounces on those and, like, creates her own agenda.
Yeah.
So I bet Yujin was, like, depressed that her husband was cheating on her. And
possibly gonna leave her, who knows?
Yeah, and that might have been, like, the first time. Because we see now that Sejun is, like, a fucking horny old man. But maybe he's like that because...
the person he wanted to be with and he really liked and was probably going to leave her for ended up getting killed.
Murdered, yeah.
And so now he just, like, fucks anything that comes in his dressing room.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, like, she could have been, like... She actually could have loved Sejun and, like, been really distraught. And, yeah, maybe Secretary Kim was like...
I got this covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust her.
Yeah, me neither. She's creepy. Yeah, totally. So, after the talk show, they're like, okay, so we're gonna make Anna into, like, a fucking superstar. Again, it really reads like they're taking advantage of her.
And it reads like everyone is. Even, like, the reporter is just, like, bringing this fucking fashion designer in. Like, unnecessary for this girl who supposedly, again, like, has all this trauma and stuff.
Yeah. Like, and so they're, like, they did her hair and makeup, and, like, it's a whole photo shoot.
And the guy's like, it would sure be a lot better if I could use the flash. Can you get her to use the flash? At first, I thought he was going to say, like, man, I tried, but, like, I can't get a good photo of her. But it's just like, no, like, the lighting just sucks.
But I'm like, do you really need flash?
No,
like,
you don't.
There's a ton of lighting in that studio. I mean, I'm no photographer, but it seems like you could still get a good picture without using a flash.
You can get by, yeah, absolutely.
Also, because, it's not like this is going to go on the cover of Vogue or something. No. Like, it kind of just seems like they're doing headshots and stuff. And so, yeah, the guy's like, we need flash. And so Sungwon is like, maybe I can talk her into the idea of liking flash photography. Like, what the fuck? Like, that seems like an actual, like, medical, psychological condition that she has.
Absolutely.
Like, we can debate as to whether or not she has, like, social anxiety. But she clearly...
It's obvious that she
gets
has
panic attacks with flash photography. And so they're like, let's take a lunch break. And so while everyone takes a lunch break, Jae-ha and Anna stay behind. And then Secretary Kim, again, pulls the trigger. These fucking crazy-ass motherfuckers come in with a nerve gas. That's a way to take someone out, I guess.
I'm a little, like, confused as to why they left Anna there. Like, why didn't she go to lunch with them?
Yeah, I think because did someone kind of hint, like, to Jae-ha, like, talk her into using flash or something? I don't know.
No, he just gave her pills.
Oh, yeah, because they kind of fight about, like, he's like, you just trust anybody? Like, why would...
Yeah, like, he gives her some pills, and he says, like, they're anti-anxiety pills, and they're going to help her feel better. And then she'll be able to, like, use the flash. Maybe whenever, after lunch, we can, like, try again. And she was just like, okay. And then that's when Jae-ha's like...
Are you stupid?
Why are you taking pills from people? Like, why would they just give these to him? And she was like, I don't know, but it'd be cool if they worked. I was like, yeah, that's true. It would be cool. But I would think that, like, he would want her to take the pill and then, like, have food with it or something. I don't know how the pill works. They're all different.
Right.
But, I mean, typically it's, like, take with food, which I thought made sense. Like, if we're going to go on a lunch break, take her with us, eat some good food. She takes the pill, you know, we laugh and then
And then they can kind of monitor her.
Yeah, but instead they leave her there, and I thought that was unusual.
I also thought that was weird.
Unless, like, she was going to meet them, but it just didn't make sense. Why?
Again, people leaving people behind and not without good reasons.
Yeah. So anyway, that stuff happens. You can continue that if you want.
Well, yeah, basically, like, they come out with nerve gas, which, again, I thought that was a weird
plan.
Way to take someone out. Because, I mean, I kind of get it, like, it's probably, like, less fingerprints and stuff.
That's true, yeah.
And maybe once the nerve gas clears out, it's hard to tell, like, how these people died, I guess. But to me, it just seemed easiest if they came in and, like, syringed them or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But maybe they thought, like, oh, Jae-ha's a super good fighter.
Maybe we knock him out first.
Yeah.
And then...
I guess that's probably why they did it. Because if they just came in with, like, a syringe, he would just, like, knock him out.
Yeah. Kick the syringe out of their hands.
But so nerve gas is, like, flooding the building. Jaeha tells Anna to, like, book it. Oh, also, I got some insight from Alex. Because I was like, if she's in the vents, wouldn't the stuff get into the vents?
That's what I thought, too.
But he said, Alex, my boyfriend, is a project manager, like a general contractor. And he said that is part of, like, the HVAC system. So usually the air that is, like, going in the vents is coming from, like, outside. And it gets, like, brought into... So, like, the air that is being...
The air that is in the room is not going...
Right.
Back
he's
in.
like, it's like there's two lines. So, yeah. He's like, sometimes it works that way. But typically with, like, big buildings like that, like, there is a line of air coming into the building, and then there's a line of air going out. So, so the vent that has, like, the air conditioning or whatever that she was probably in wouldn't have the gas in it.
Gotcha.
Because it doesn't suck the air in from the room to create air conditioning. It sucks it in from somewhere else.
Gotcha. Okay. I was asking myself the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, doesn't make sense? And he was like, no, that checks out. And I was like, okay.
Sure.
Good to know.
Yeah.
That's the one part of the show that checks out. Like, okay.
Yeah, so it's looking pretty intense. At one point... he's fighting with people, and they, like, knock him out, and she comes up behind them, hits them with a fire extinguisher, and it's really intense, and then one of them is chasing her, and she's, like, trying to run, screaming his name. Last minute, he, like, saves her, whatever. And then Miran and K1 come. They save the day last minute.
Yeah, because they're both, like, passed out at this point.
Yeah, but they're able to save them, yada, yada. And then they decide to take Anna back to the safe house, and they decide the safe house because they think that's going to be the safest place for her away from Sungwon. And what's his face? The other politician. Park Hwan-soo. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because at this point, I'm not sure that they know who sent the attack.
Yeah, they just know it was someone, and they think that this house is the safest place for her.
Yeah, because I think they thought, like, if it's Yujin's people, they're not going to go back to the safe house because I forget their reasoning.
Yeah. They just figured that's going to be the best place. So whatever. They arrive, and I don't remember why this happens, but there's an awkward, like, moment where she doesn't want to walk inside. Is it a light issue?
It's because it's too bright outside. Which, again, does not check out because they were at the beach together.
Yeah, on... just as sunny of a day. And she's gotten out of the car before on the same type of day.
Without sunglasses.
She sat outside when she ate her fucking strawberry ice cream in the sunlight.
Yeah, she had her little...
press conference.
And then leaving that day, people were there. Like the day that she went to...
I think she just wanted an excuse to have him, like, put a blanket over her.
Yeah.
And, like...
or like, cuddle
protect her.
Yeah.
Because it does not check out at all.
Yeah.
But his idea to help, like, make her feel better is to throw a blanket over the two of them. And they're, like, walking,
so they're walking like
weird
little
and
ghosts.
huddled. Yeah, it looks so stupid. And they, like, there's a moment where they're walking and they're just like, because they hit the step. And it, oh my God, it's
like,
so cringy.
Okay, but, like,
it's
why are
so
you not
cringy.
looking down at your feet?
It's so cringy. Oh my God. So they start going up the steps, and then they're just standing there, and then they have an awkward kiss under the blanket, and Miran is standing there with the housekeeper, and she's just like, what's happening? And K1 is there too, and he, like, has the ramen and, like, cracks it in half, and he's like, what's going on? And Miran starts losing her shit about it, which is really funny.
She's like, they're kissing, oh my God!
But it's just, like, it's so awkward. It just looks like a lump of a ghost at the end of the hallway.
Also, because I don't know. Like, because I saw, like, a gif of them, like, under the blanket. Like, when I saw that, I thought they would be, like, hiding in a stationary position.
Nope.
Like,
just casually walking out of a car.
Again, if I rewrote this, what I would do is, if Anna didn't want to get out of the car in the daytime, I would have Jaeha sit in the back of the car with her, and they, like, just sit and, like, talk to each other, and maybe they come up with an excuse to, like, hold hands or something, and then I don't know, maybe like they fall asleep holding each other or something. Like they take a little nap because they both had a rough afternoon.
They both inhaled a bunch of gas.
Yeah. And then...
Which, shouldn't they be at the hospital right now? Like,
right.
I don't know.
And then... So they like... wait. Basically, they're waiting it out. They're talking. They take a little nap and like he's holding her. And then for the kiss... Oh, what they could do is maybe... It's darker. It's like dusk. And Miran's like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
And they get out of the car, and, like, Anna and Jaeha are kind of, like, looking at each other, because obviously they want to kiss, but there's just, like, that thing, and Anna goes to leave, and then we get a wrist grab or something, and Jaeha, like, pulls her in, and maybe it has something to do with, like, her hair, or, again, it could be cliche. It just doesn't have to be weird like this. He pulls her in and does something, and then she kisses him first or something. Like, he pulls her in and makes an excuse why, but clearly it's because he doesn't want to let her go. But he, like, gets embarrassed, and then she kisses him. And then Miran can still freak out in the back. But they're not under a blanket.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound better? Like, it sounds cliche, but...
Why does she just have... I don't know. Why does she have that blanket with her?
Blankets are very big in Korea. Everyone has fucking blankets on them. I don't know. I see it in, like, the variety shows.
Okay.
Like, I think they have blankets, like, at the movie theater.
Oh, that's nice. That's different, though. Movie theaters are always cold.
Well, I think it's just, like, yeah, I guess...
You have them in cars, and you have them, like, in every room of the house, and you have them at school, and...
Well, yeah, I think for, like, ladies, they sometimes use it for, like...
Extra coverage.
Yeah, like, if they're wearing something, they can put the blanket on their laps and stuff.
Okay.
But I don't understand why they use that as a plot device.
No, for a kiss. No, absolutely not. It wasn't cute.
No.
It was not a cute first kiss.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think she should have been the one to kiss him first. Again, because this is the liberation of Anna. And give her some agency for once. And I think they could have played into the, like, oh, this is a good way to force these two to be together. That makes sense. Let's keep them in the car together because Anna is, like, so freaked out. Because, again, that makes sense. Like, it makes sense for her to not want to get out of the car because she's so panicked, right? Like, I don't trust what's in the house. Like, that would make sense, right? So that's why I think, like, oh, they could have just stayed in the car for, like, a few hours, taken a little nappy nap. How romantic. Other than...
Call the doctor to come check on your lungs.
Yeah. Or they could have, taken her to a doctor. And she could have, like, been in the hospital bed. And he's, like, sitting there with her. Oh, this is what they could have done. They could have taken her to the hospital. She's in the hospital bed. And maybe he's sitting by her. He grabs her hand. As she wakes up, she sees he's holding her hand. And then he's asleep. And then they, like, both are awake. And they're like, ugh. And then something happens where he, like, maybe he is, like, adjusting her pillow or something. And then she kisses him. Isn't that better?
That's a lot better than a blanket.
Because then it addresses her lungs. It addresses both of them, really.
Yes.
And then it's, like, a way of, like, kind of advancing it. And it's cute. Like, I'm going to steal a kiss because your face is, like, right next to mine. I don't know. I just gave 2 good scenes.
And you're not even
of how people
a K-drama writer.
No, I'm just, like, I guess at this point I'm a fan fiction writer.
Someone call this girl.
I think David and I should team up and write K-dramas together.
You just need someone to direct, produce, film, edit.
Yeah, I'll just be the writer. I mean, I would just really hope people execute my vision well. But, yeah.
Otherwise, you can complain on this podcast about it.
Yeah, exactly. As long as I get paid, I
mean. Jaeha is called to Cloud 9, and he has received his mission to finally kill Park Hwan-soo. Really intense. He agrees to do it on the condition that once he is done, Yoojin will leave Anna alone finally, let her live her life, and give him the, quote, head of Secretary Kim.
Fucking intense.
Who is sitting right there. And the reason why is because that bitch put the hit on him, and he fucking knows it.
Yeah.
Because he called Eugen to get help, and she was like, she's busy. What do you want? Like, I fucking did it, you asshole. You're about to die.
Uh-huh.
And of course he didn't die. Like, she should know. She should know what she's up against.
Yeah.
But he's, like, fucking pissed. But surprisingly, he doesn't tell Eugen or the people at the table, like, she tried to kill us.
Yeah, he's, like, playing that close to his chest.
Mm-hmm. And Secretary Kim agrees. She's like, I'll give you my head, but first, I want his head. I want to see it.
Park Kwon-soo's
yeah. I want to see it before I give up mine.
Oh, also because they make a comment like, good thing Jaeha's alive.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, because there's like, we need to kill Park Kwon-soo now.
And there's nobody that can do it.
Except for Jaeha.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, he's good, right? And she's like, whoa.
Uh-huh.
And then he shows up.
And they're like, he might die, though. But if he kills Park Kwon-soo, it's a risk we have to take. And so, like, they agree, blah, blah, blah. And all of them leave except for Eugen and Jaeha. And Eugen is weirdly tender with him. Mm-hmm. And she tells him that he can come back if it's too dangerous. And basically, like, give up the mission once he's there.
And she's like, Jaeha, yeah. Like, she's not just, like, calling him, like, K1 or K2 or Jaeha. Like, again, it's, like, a very, like, almost, it's, like, half lover, half mother. Like, clearly she has feelings for him in some capacity. Mm-hmm. And again, this is, like, the chemistry that I think is way more intense than his chemistry with Anna. But I thought that was interesting. Because I'm like, is this the unraveling of her? Mm-hmm. Or does she, like, just feel that strongly about him that she's willing to risk, like, Park Kwon-soo staying alive as long as Jaeha's alive? Like... But then they talk more, and he's like, oh, you're worried about the email? And she's like, no, like, I think she basically just is like, I just want to make sure that you're okay. And he's like, well, I trust you. He kind of keeps trying to reinforce that, like, you're a good person. Mm-hmm.
And I trust your word, and I believe the things that you say are true, or, like, you're gonna do what you say. Mm-hmm. And then he also tells her, like, yeah, I deleted that stuff a long time ago.
Yeah.
By the way. And then, off to the side, as they're talking, Secretary Kim is, like, on her way out, and she's secretly on the phone with the other, like, security head dude. Yeah. Saying, like, hey, there's one more thing on your mission. No matter what, you have to take out K2.
And that guy's
whether or not Park Kwon-soo gets killed, you need to make sure this guy's dead. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, what?
He starts to cry.
Yeah, his eyes get so fucking red.
He's like, I love that guy.
I can't kill him. I'm gonna die. Yeah. She wants me dead, I guess.
That's the other thing, too. Like, that's a good point. I didn't even think about it from that perspective. Like,
he's seen him fuck up so many people.
Yeah.
He knows what this guy's capable of. Like,
they all do. Like, he literally beat up all of them when they were at Eugen's house. Mm-hmm. Which is why everyone at JSS hates him. Mm-hmm. Because he can beat up everybody.
They don't want to fuck with him.
But I thought it was so funny that the guy, like, literally teared up to the point of almost crying. Yeah. Because he looked so conflicted, like, oh, I don't want to take him out.
Yeah, I'm curious of what's going to happen there. Is he actually going to try it?
My gut says no.
I feel like he's going to bring it up. Or like it's going to come to a point where they're about to. Uh-huh. Or maybe, like, Jaeha's hurt. And he could possibly die, but in the end, he, like, saves him.
Yeah, I feel like that guy will come through for Jaeha in some way.
Crazy.
I predict that Secretary Kim will not make it out alive at the end of the show.
Agreed.
Someone's gonna kill her.
Yeah, I feel like Jaeha might kill her. Or Eugen, that would be intense.
Or it's one of those things where they just kind of let her die.
Mm-hmm. In some, like, big altercation.
Oh, okay. And then at the very end, while Secretary Kim is talking to the strike force or whatever the fuck, Jaeha's talking to Anna. And she's like, hey, bring me home snacks Very relatable.
Typical, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I'm going to be out pretty late. And he's like, tell Miran to go get snacks with you. And she says, no, if I go with Miran, she'll eat them all. Like, what a bitch. Like, you don't know her that well. You can't be calling her out like that.
I mean, she probably would. But...
yeah, but still, like, and then basically, Anna can kind of tell, like, something is afoot.
Mm-hmm. And
she's like, okay, well, you have to come back or else, like, you're dead.
And he's like, yeah, absolutely.
He's accurate.
True.
And so he promises to make it back to her with snacks.
Yeah, and they're both like, well, she in particular is like fighting back tears and crying.
Yeah. And that's the end of the episode. And I think Jaeha knows the stakes too. Like, they kind of brought it up, like, pretty obviously, like, you might not make it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure Park Kwon-soo is dead.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, again, so I watched episode 10 with Alex. He didn't watch episode 9. But Alex was like, well, I kind of want to keep watching. Is he going to make it out? And I was like, well, clearly he's going to survive. I mean...
It's called K2 for a reason.
Exactly.
Not just for synthetic weed.
Right. But that was kind of a cliffhanger where I was like...
Yeah, I think...
I want to keep watching.
I think he's going to kill Park Kwon-soo.
Already, though?
I think.
Or are they going to make this mission last for, like, 2 episodes?
I don't know.
Because we have 11 and 12 coming up. So there's 6 episodes left, right?
Mm-hmm.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah.
I think it might be a fake death. Where they make it seem like Jaeha was killed. Like, maybe the other guy that she asked to kill him, it's gonna, like, he's gonna help him, and they're gonna find out that she ordered that hit on him, and so he's gonna play dead.
That is a good
And maybe,
prediction.
like, Park Kwon-soo is dead, and then they think Jaeha died then, too, and they don't know what's happening.
And Anna's, like, devastated.
And then Anna, like, goes back into her shell, and everything's a fucking
It's kind
mess.
of like a Descendants of the Sun thing.
Yes.
Where everyone thinks, including the viewer, thinks
and
Jaeha died.
And then he hath risen. Like, episode 13.
Uh-huh.
And then shit goes down with, what's her face?
Yujin?
No,
Secretary Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because also, we totally skipped over Sejun in this little recap.
Oh, yeah.
But...
yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Basically, his candidacy is, like, very... what's the word? It's on edge right now.
It's
like,
fucked.
Yeah. Because basically what ended up happening is he went into the prosecutor's office for show.
And they thought they had it fixed.
Yeah. But then, when he was about to be released, they were like, actually, you need to come with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the catalyst for them saying, we need to kill Park Kwon-soo.
Because he's behind it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, at this point, they're like, Sejun is, like, actually in police custody.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some, like, mumblings. Is that a thing? Murmurs?
Mm-hmm.
Whispers.
Mm-hmm.
That...
Any of those, I think.
That something is up with Sejun. Because, like, I think you, are with, like, the head, like, the police chief and, like, the head of JSS, and they're talking shit. And they're like, well, they were involved with... Pss, 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 pss. Mm-hmm. And, like, as the audience,
and
we don't know.
You're, like, seeing them from, like, behind glass, and you can't hear them, and then you just hear the other guy go, what? He's like, shh. It's such a dumb scene.
Yeah. So, something is going on with that.
Yes.
And so, I guess, yeah, like...
I feel like that was more talk about, like, the daughter, too. That what's-her-face is his daughter.
Anna?
Uh-huh.
Probably.
I don't know.
Because did they mention murder?
I think so. I feel like they did.
Yeah. I think, so basically, yeah, there's, like, some rumors going around about Sejun. So, at some point, his story will be brought up again. I mean, it's a good show. Sorry. Bless you. The overall, like, high points are good. It's just how they're executed is like, are we really doing it this way?
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of, like, yeah, Anna and Jaeha ending up together.
Yeah, I'm not at all, like, really interested in the romance of this show.
It's because I don't think the two leads have very good chemistry.
Mm-hmm. I'm more interested in, like, the political stuff, like, the fuckery happening.
Yeah.
The backstabbing and, like, families against each other.
Yeah, totally. Because, because we also need to figure out what's going on with Sungwon.
Mm-hmm.
So Jaeha,
it's a lot.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, and Jaeha and Anna are, like, very much on the back burner, I think, in terms of, like, compelling storylines.
And he doesn't really seem, like, super interested.
In Anna?
Yeah.
Well, he had that nightmare where she died.
Yes, but, like, it's obvious he cares about her and he, like, protects her and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But
makes her ramen.
But he's also just like, no, I don't want to chase you. I don't want to chase you. Or, like, why are you wearing, like, what are you doing? He's just, like, uninterested in playing those types of games and stuff.
I think he's just trying to play it cool. But yeah, I get your point. Like, if he was, like, really, really into her, he'd
be like, oh, okay.
He'd give a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Other than when he wakes up from, like, a night terror.
Yeah, and has nowhere to turn but to the one human in front of him.
I mean, I don't know. At this point, I wish we would have watched Healer. Healer's so good, you guys. If you're looking for a very good drama that has action, that has political intrigue, where you're like, the fuck? That has a very good romantic connection between the two leads that includes Ji Chang-wook and Park Min-young. Mm-hmm. Watch Healer. It is probably in my top 5.
Okay.
It's a good... Or Suspicious Partner. Again, he has such good chemistry with both of those ladies. This, to me, is just really falling flat in terms of the chemistry.
Yeah, I agree.
Suspicious Partner is also very good. That is definitely in my top 5. I love that show. Again, I'm not trying to, like, shit on this one, because it's not bad. It's not as bad as Melting Me Softly. That is his worst show that I've seen. But it just could have been executed better. Mm-hmm. So for fashion, we kind of talked about that lady's great hair.
Mm-hmm. That's all I have.
Yeah,
Nothing else stood out.
For fashion, don't. Fucking Anna's clothes are so ugly.
Give me a particular look that you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of when she goes to JSS. She's in another fucking turtleneck.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
those aren't cute. Those aren't cute.
No, turtlenecks are cute. I'm not hating on turtlenecks.
But that particular style of a turtle. It's like a thick turtleneck. And
she's very much styled like a frumpy person. Mm-hmm. And it would be one thing, because you can rock an oversized turtleneck, mm-hmm. just like put on some skinny jeans.
But it also doesn't look like too oversized either.
It just looks, it just looks like it is one size too big for her, and she's very thin.
Yeah, like you either wear an outfit that like fits you well, uh-huh. or you wear an outfit that's like way oversized, like dramatic oversized.
Right.
For the styling of it.
Yeah. It just looked like she has like a tiny little neck floating mm-hmm. in this turtleneck.
Like a big head and a little neck. It's not cute, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
Egon agrees too. No turtlenecks.
No, I mean her hair is nice, but
yeah, she's got a good haircut. I don't know who's been cutting her hair all these years.
The nuns,
the housekeeper,
the housekeeper and the nuns. I love you. I think mine might be Yoojin and Jaeha, where she's like,
"You can come back."
Jaeha, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say that
because again, I don't know if her, like, mental health is just, like, on the downslide, but she seems like she really cares about him in that moment.
I also enjoy the beach moment with Miran and K1.
Yeah.
Because they're just, like, two goofs.
Yeah, and I mean, I did, like, while Jaeha and Anna were under the blanket, I thought their, like, little side glances at each other were cute. But again, you could have accomplished that with Anna in the hospital.
Yeah.
And Jaeha, like, fluffing her pillow or something.
He's a real good pillow fluffer.
Yeah, and then she could have kissed him. I don't know. I'm no K-drama writer, but...
I don't know.
But I rewrote the ending of Hotel de Luna.
And now you're rewriting episodes of K2.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We managed to make this short layout that you had outlined. An hour and 7 minutes. Nice.
Maybe this is just how we'll do the podcast.
It's not too bad.
Because, it literally only took me, like, 15, 20 minutes to write this.
I'm cool with that.
I mean, we totally forgot a whole plot point of Sejun, but...
But then we remembered it.
Yeah, this is true.
And it wasn't, like, 30 minutes spent on it. It was maybe, like, 5 minutes. Like, I remember him being in the room being like, okay, when are they going to let me out? Why are they taking so long? And then turning on the news.
Yeah, and then him being, like, earlier being like, come on, like, take off your shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's not, like, an important role right now either.
Yes.
So it's...
Again,
it might not be worth mentioning at this point.
This is just the catalyst of them needing to kill Park Kwon-soo. So yeah, this was good. I'm sorry my voice sounds like garbage, but...
It sounds better than it has the past, like, few times I've seen
Again, guys, like, my voice doesn't sound good right now. Like, it sounded way worse.
It was bad.
It was real bad.
We did karaoke for my birthday, and Kaitlin couldn't sing. Kaitlin sat there looking at all the Korean songs and trying to figure out which Korean song she was going to do. And she never got to do one because she looked so bad and sounded bad.
Yeah, guys, I fucking love karaoke. Norebang. I love it. I was so heartbroken that I could not sing at Jill's.
Alex and I were singing Prince. And Andrew and Alex were singing Queen together.
Yeah.
Bromance.
And then Alex and
Aaron.
I kept wanting to say Alan. Aaron were singing Backstreet Boys, and I was like...
Why can't I sing?
No, I just sang... I, like, half...
Oh, yeah, you sang some Disney songs?
Yeah, but I just didn't want to leave her hanging.
Yeah, that was nice of you.
I could, like, not sing. I mean, I don't know if you could even hear me on the microphone, like...
I could kind of hear you quietly.
Just, like, totally off key.
It was mostly... I can mostly hear her.
Yeah. But, anyway.
We'll do it again soon, though, because Andrew and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you want to do it for your birthday also, but maybe, like, before then.
We can just go.
We could do it. Like, maybe sometime this month.
That'd be cool.
I'd be down.
Yeah. But we'll Instagram story that. Which is a good segue into... Follow us on Instagram. Jill and I are going to go see BTS. So we're doing our little road trip.
Cross your fingers. No coronavirus.
Yeah. Guys, pray to whatever God you believe in that corona will be done with, or kind of like handled in some sort of capacity. One, for the health of the world.
Have you ever noticed that things just like...
so BTS can come into my life in person.
Things like are a big deal online, and it's like, all of Australia's on fire. And then suddenly you just don't hear about it anymore? Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Like, I'm wondering, like, when are we just not going to hear about this virus anymore suddenly?
And see, this is what I was talking to people at work about. I'm like, H1N1, aka swine flu, it was a big deal in 2009. Because I remember saying, like, I was in high school, and people being like, I survived swine 09. But that killed way more people than corona has so far. And I'm like, why are we making it such a big deal to the point where people can't come to the U.S. from Korea right now? Which is, I think, the biggest fear of how BTS could maybe not get in the country. But I'm like...
But they're cute boys.
They are cute boys.
They'll let them in. They're cute boys.
They just have to go like, hey. Give them a little wink.
We're cute boys and we sell out shows in the U.S.
That was the other thing I was telling my mom, because BTS canceled their Seoul tour dates. But I was like, I feel like it would be easier for them to organize a show in Seoul. Reschedule. Versus all of these other tour dates around the globe. I feel like financially, their record label just could not. They would have lost millions of dollars, I think, if they canceled all of those shows.
Yeah. Because
their productions are, like, over the top.
I don't foresee, like, concerts and events like that canceling.
Yeah.
I feel like there might be less people in attendance. People deciding they're not going to go, which I'm going okay with. But I don't see people canceling shows.
Again, pray. Just let's, like, really hope for the best. Again, like, I don't want people getting sick. Number one.
Wash your fucking hands, y'all.
Yeah, don't wash your hands and don't put your hands by your face. Which is very hard for me.
Me too.
Because I'm, like, a face toucher.
I'm a big, like, eye rubber.
Me too.
Can't stop.
So, we gotta stop that, everybody. And take care of yourself.
Kaitlin does not have coronavirus, by the way.
No, I just have, like, some fucking kid from Disney getting me sick, mega cold or something.
Think of all that fun you would have had if it wasn't for that damn kid getting sick.
No kids allowed at Disney.
Never.
That is my petition. I guess that's it. Follow us on the other social medias. Yeah. We hang out there sometimes.
Yeah.
And send us an email if you want to talk.
Maybe write us some K2 fanfic, please.
Yes.
Caitlin's already given us some, but...
I've given a couple of prompts. I would love to read, like, a full fleshed out, like, Jaehan, Anna in, like, the hospital room
Give
scene.
us something to read. I like reading emails.
Me too. Emails are fun when they're for the podcast, not for work.
Yes, absolutely.
I guess that's it. I've said that, like, 7 times, but for realsies.
All right. We will see you guys next week, because I don't think we'll be canceling.
Yes. Goodbye.
Right. Bye.